to admit, the nice thing about doing that on the series was I had 7 years to get it right. And apparently, I started and got it close enough. What I loved, the preparation for it was figuring out, in some ways, what this guy would be like physically. And I also talked to a therapist who specialized in developmental disability about certain behavior. And I'd never met this woman. I was given her number to call, and I called. And one of the early questions I asked, partly because I'm a brat, is, okay, why do their mouths hang open like that? And I really pushed the button. She said, they don't. And I went, oh. I had observed differently. There was a tendency with that for the mouth to kind of drift open. It's gravity is what it is what I finally figured out. Who teaches you to close your mouth? Your mother. Close your mouth. Stop that. You look stupid. Close your mouth. Close your mouth. Well, this guy never registered with him, and that was just what happened. And I realized there's a way to approach that, and it's not necessarily negative. The first year of LA Law, I sat on the set doing this, and wasn't even cool enough to know I'm supposed to go to my trailer. I'm sitting in between shots on the set, and I'm sitting there just waiting and getting ready for the next shot. And one of the things I would do physically was I could adjust my face in certain ways, muscularly, muscle control, and I would test my mouth drop, basically, like this. Some days I could get 4 in, and what that did was ultimately relax all the muscles in my jaw and make them more slack. And there was a very distinctive physical look that I decided eventually, when talking to this therapist, half an hour in, she decided she could trust me, and I asked her the same question again. She said, I don't know, there's no real physical reason for that, but yeah, she finally came around to seeing what I had just observed casually. She was confirming a little. So I allowed that to happen. Those were the physical changes. And the other thing I had to do mentally was figure out what he didn't know and what he didn't get. And that would be either shaped by the script or stuff. And what ended up happening with that kind of character was we became sort of amazed when he got something, and sometimes in that show, he got it better than all the really polished, trained minds around him. He saw it in a different way, and that became almost the point of that particular episode in the series was, oh, we would listen to Benny as the voice of reason, as another angle on things. And that's what I enjoyed exploring. It was great, but that was the preparation, talking to therapists and figuring out the look and what I could do, and even the voice changed a little. Oh, one thing I did was I decided he didn't have very good diction. Yeah, and most people in America don't have very good diction. And I decided his was even worse, and I decided to give him a California accent, since that's where he's from, which means he pronounced the word really, rolling, R-U-L-L-Y, rolling, which is how at the time a valley girl would have said really, rolling. And I just decided it just changes diction some. Does that answer your question?
Thank you.
Excellent.